Hello, hi there, friends and family. This is Adelaid Mabusela. I am an admitted attorney and a notary practicing in Gauteng, South Africa. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Cute, yay. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been long overdue. I've been contemplating it for, I'd say, a few years now. But sometimes it's just difficult to get something off the ground. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Please, if you have not subscribed, do subscribe. Hit the notification and the like button. And one extra mile, please do share the link with friends and family. I do believe that this is the kind of content that crosses ages. Everybody needs this information, and so I'd love it and I'd appreciate it so much if you were to share the link. All right, so yeah, welcome to my first episode here by Adelaide Mabusela. And as you've already kind of encountered my promo video, this is just to educate legally the layman over the everyday things that happen, and what you should do when you encounter them. And I did say that I'd start off with a story time, so let me kick right into it. We're basically in December right now, so by the time you see this video, it's going to be December, and it's festive season. So there's something to know about South Africa also, particularly, is that accidents are rife during the festive seasons. And so I found this story time to be befitting of the season, right? So sometime right about this time last year, I was going to Mpumalanga, right? Driving a really nice car, some German machine, and we were on the freeway. So there I am driving on the freeway. I get stopped by the police, right? So I was driving over the speed limit. But I didn't think anything of it at the time. I was like, okay, cool. The traffic officer stops me. Lovely, lovely people. First of all, I must say, the traffic officers that stopped me were it was like talking to your uncle and your aunt. Nothing to think of, right? So, they stopped me and he goes, "Ow, like, why are you speeding?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize, these automatic German cars. I'm sorry." But, and so he's like, "So you see, now I have to give you a fine." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a bummer. Do you have to give me a fine? But okay, you can give me a fine." We're having a really chill conversation, right? So he goes, "Yeah, no, you know what? I'm not going to give you a hectic fine. I'll just make it 500 for you." And I was like, "Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate that." In my head, I'm thinking, okay, you know how when you pay a fine, after 2 weeks, you pay half, if I'm not mistaken. So I think nothing of it. He's writing. He's writing for long. But anyway, we're making small chit chat. He's telling me how, people are behaving so strange. Every time he gives them the ticket, they speed off. They say that they're going to call their lawyers. I don't make anything of it. And at that time, I'm not even trying to tell him I'm a lawyer. So he writes the ticket. Then he goes, "Yeah, please do sign here for me." Now, rule number 1, never just sign. Read. Please, I beseech thee, read. So he gives me the book, and then I read. But now I'm seeing there Section 65 Criminal Procedure Act. I'm thinking, Criminal Procedure Act? Man, it keeps referring to me as an accused. Admission of guilt, 500 there. So now I'm getting, I keep reading. It says summons to appear 18 December. I'm like, wait. Uncle, what is this? He goes, "Yeah, that's the ticket." I'm like, "No, this is not a ticket. This is a summons to appear. This thing is talking accused and admission of guilt. This is criminal record. give me a ticket. This is not a ticket. He goes, I'm telling you, I've been giving people this. He goes, I've been telling you, I've been giving, and they're speeding off. They're saying they're gonna talk to their lawyers and stuff. I'm like, no, do you understand that if I sign this, I have to appear at court or pay an admission of guilt? This means that I get a criminal record. I'm an attorney. Sorry, sir, this does not work for me. Give me a ticket. He goes, I don't have any other book. Come speak to my supervisor. They're there manning the camera. No, I get out of the car. I walk over to the two. It's a man and a woman. Nice people. Nice people. No attitude. They're elderly. They're minding their business, just doing their job. So I get there and I go, it makes sense. Please assist me here. Why am I getting a summons to appear as a ticket? They go, no, don't worry. If you pay before the date of the court, then, nothing happens. It's the ticket. So now I'm explaining to them that, do you understand that this is a summons to appear? If I don't appear at court and I don't sign the admission of guilt, I'll be, a warrant will be issued out in my name. Warrant of arrest. In my name, right? And if I do pay this as an admission of guilt, this is a criminal record, right? So this does not work for me. They go, no, it doesn't appear on your record. This is just a ticket. This is what we've been giving in our area. Hey, Mapumalanga there by Mpumalanga. I won't say anything further. So I say, please, this does not work for me. I'm going back and forth. I'm pleading. They resign. They go, I can't help you. Talk to the guy who's giving you the ticket. So now I'm vexing. Like I'm huffing and I'm puffing because I'm just like, this is not happening. And then he says to me, you know what? I think you have a point. I haven't teared this out of the book. You haven't signed. When I get to the station, I'll cancel it. Don't worry, get back in your car. You can go. Right? And I go, okay, thanks, uncle. And I drive off. Right? So now, what's distressing for me is the fact that as officers of the law, and I do recognize that SAPS and JMPD or TMPD or whatever it is there by Mpumalanga is, I do understand that they are police, but like they work differently. I fully comprehend that. But for me, my thing is, why did they not know that this will give someone a criminal record? And hypothetically speaking, if I were driving, let me say 130 or 140, then they would give me that instead of a ticket. And I'd be caught up in this whole long process for no reason. And so, yeah, definitely it's festive season. And please do be careful of that. Don't just sign. Don't just take stuff. But also more importantly, please do not speed. And please do not drink and drive, right? Coming to speaking about speed, you must understand that you can get arrested. They're well within their rights to issue a summons to appear if you are driving at a certain level over the speed limit, right? Now, in terms of the laws of South Africa, if you're in an urban area and you are driving 30 kilometers above the speed limit, so for example, the area is 60, the speed is 60 or it's 70, right? And if it's 60, there you are driving 100 and you get stopped by a police officer. Yes, they are well within their right to put you in the back of the police van and take you to the police station, and then you will appear at court the same way you would appear if you were driving under the influence or anything of that nature. Yes, you can get arrested for speeding. And on the freeway, the limit is 40 kilometers. So if you're driving 40 kilometers above the speed limit on the freeway, they are well within their rights to either issue you summons to appear if they are in the opinion that the magistrate would most likely give you a fine, or they can chuck you in the back of the van and say, we're going to court in the next 48 hours, right? So really, it's not uncommon for people to get arrested for speeding, driving over the speed limit. And that's really what I want to bring to your awareness, right? So now what happens when you are, you or your family member is arrested because they were driving over the speed limit, excessively over the fine limitations? What do you do? So now you're definitely going to either get a summons to appear, but I do implore you to understand that an admission of guilt, no matter how it's explained, you see in my story, they had no clue that an admission of guilt equals to a criminal record. But anywhere where you see admission of guilt, in your mind, you must think, I'm getting a criminal record. And you must reconcile yourself with the fact that, do I want this on my record? When you apply for jobs and they ask you, do I have a criminal record? You have to tick yes. And already we know what a criminal record does to someone's employability and desirability. Also in terms of traveling, that's not what you want. So what happens when you find yourself in that kind of situation where you're a corporate, or you're, someone who's working, just trying to make a living, and you can't afford to have a criminal record of that nature? So I know that most of the time when people go to court, you'd like to think that it's either you plead guilty or not guilty, right? But for your minor offenses, such as driving over the speed limit, even driving under the influence, right? So this is my disclaimer though. Everything that I am saying is on a case-by-case basis. Don't take this and apply it as the rule of law for everything, right? I know in the news recently or earlier in this year, there was a gentleman who was arrested for driving something about 200 kilometers per hour, right? I don't think what I'm about to say was applicable for them. Also, if your blood alcohol level is excessive or you caused an accident, what I'm about to say also doesn't really apply to you. But if you were just at a roadblock and you got arrested for driving under the influence, or you were driving over the speed limit, maybe you were doing 100 in a 60 zone, 180 in a 120 zone, then this might be applicable to you, right? So the first thing that happens when you go to court is they must deal with bail. That is if you have not received police bail. What is police bail? Police bail is receiving bail from the police station, okay? If the offense is minor enough and you're not a flight risk, they're able to prove your legality and your proof of address. They just tell you, they give you the summons to appear and tell you, okay, come to court on this day, and then, they can trust that you come to court, right? There's police bail, but if you don't get police bail, then you must appear before the magistrate in 48 hours. Now, how we calculate the 48 hours also is subject to, for example, if you get arrested Friday evening or Friday afternoon, 48 hours is going to expire on Sunday. So you're going to stay in the cell for longer than 48 hours as prescribed by the Constitution. Also, if you are getting arrested on a long weekend, you are definitely staying for longer than 48 hours as prescribed by the Constitution. So these are all like your details in between that apply case by case, right? But let's say that we've dispensed with the issue of bail. Now you have this pending matter where it looks like you might get a criminal record for driving over the speed limit or driving under the influence, and you're a young professional who plans to travel, and you don't want to be undesirable to the embassies across the world, and you don't want to be undesirable as an employee for having a bad record against your name. What do we do? Okay, so my history, I did my articles with the legal aid. And I had a phenomenal time. First of all, shout out to legal aid, loved it. But I learned a lot about criminal law and criminal procedure because that was my bread and butter 5 days a week. That's what I did. So we have an alternate to prosecution called representations, right? And this is applicable to your minor offenses. Again, there's no blanket cover to this, okay? But what makes you eligible to representations? Say, for example, it's a theft matter, minor theft matter, or a common assault matter, or definitely not domestic violence, that one, common assault matter, driving under the influence, driving over the speed limit, excessive speeding, right? What happens when you're appearing for these four, and for some, let's classify them as minor offenses for now, right? And you are a first-time offender, so you don't have any other criminal records, or your criminal records, excluding the sexual offenses and the violence ones, because that relates to the assault one, are over 10 years back, right? And so if you were driving under the influence or speeding, you didn't cause an accident or anything of that nature, that's your minor offense. You are eligible, or may be eligible, to what we call representations. And what are representations? This is when defense, your attorney or advocate, writes to the prosecution to say, hey, listen, without prejudice, this person is young, they're a viable person of society, their career and job opportunities, are still kind of out there. They're still building a name for themselves. They are contributing to the economy, and they don't want to be undesirable for traveling. Can we explore an alternative to pleading guilty and obtaining a criminal record? And then the prosecution will consider based on circumstances, and also they will read the docket, what the police who is arresting has to say concerning what happened at the scene. And then they will say, okay, good, this person is eligible for representations. Let's send them off to NICRO. NICRO is like a diversion program. So if you were arrested for common assault, you and your neighbor, or you and a random person on the street got in an argument and you slapped them, right? And it comes to court, based on the facts on hand, you might be eligible to diversion. And diversion is a program, NICRO, I'm sure they'll be teaching you about anger management and those kind of things. Same thing if you were driving over the speed limit or driving under the influence, right? You look at, okay, this is a first time offender. What was the speed? Okay, like 160, 165, 170, or what is the blood alcohol level, this over this. Okay, what job do they do? Oh, they work here and there. They have a family they're sustaining. They're still quite young, so they're going to apply for other jobs. Yeah, you're right. Getting a criminal record is not a good idea. Let's send them through a diversion program. And once the person successfully completes that diversion program, then charges are withdrawn, and you don't get a criminal record. And the same applies also for minor offenses related to drug substance abuse. So if you're caught in possession of an illicit drug, the same can apply, right? But case by case, you may not get the same outcome as the next person, but these are the channels that are available to you. You can get an admission of guilt and get a criminal record, not appear in court, and just kind of try to move on with your life. You can go to court and say, I am not guilty, and have a startling defense, hopefully. Or we can do diversion, right? So yeah, in this episode, I really just wanted to cover those key topics. And I'm just going to kind of summarize. First of all, you can get arrested for speeding or driving over the speed limit at a certain level. If you're in an urban area, you're driving over 30 kilometers, or if you're on a freeway and you're driving over 40 kilometers, you can get arrested for that, first of all. Second of all, when you're with traffic cops and they're giving you, even if it's a ticket, like a standard ticket, I implore you to read before you sign, because the mess I was about to get in, had I not read, was out of this world. That's that. And also the things to expect if ever you find yourself in that situation, or you have a family member that finds themselves in that situation, the options that are available to you: admission of guilt, pleading not guilty, or diversion. And also, lastly, it's festive season. Please do stay safe. And if you ever need a lawyer for any of the above reasons, my name is Adelaid Mabusela. I am an admitted attorney and a notary practicing in Gauteng, South Africa. Do give me a ring. My details are in my handles. And yeah, looking forward to the next episode. You can drop me a comment on any of your thoughts or any of your burning topics that you'd love to know about that are legal. All right, from me to you, thank you so much. Until we meet again, bye.